Hello everyone, welcome to the taster session for the MSc in Digital Engineering Management. I can see that there are 20 of you joined, so I think it's a good time to start. We can slowly start, and I will be sharing my slides in a few minutes. So just a couple of housekeeping rules. We are recording this meeting, and this is to help some people who weren't able to join to have a look at the discussions and at the material and to get some information out of it. And we will be following up and sharing this link, this recording with you. So if that's not an issue, so you can hide your video if you don't want to. You can also change your names, but I won't be able to see who is asking questions in the second part of the session. So that's up to you, just to let you know that we are recording that. I'll go ahead and share my slides so that we can kick off. Great. So all of you know me. I've spoken with all of you, I think all of you, during the admissions process for the MSc in Digital Engineering Management. And as the course leader, I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in the coming months. But this specific session was designed in order to communicate some updates to you regarding the developments with regards and how the situation unfolds with regards to the COVID-19 situation. So there are around 20 of you I can see who are offer holders. Some of you have accepted the offer to study with us in the next academic year, and there are limited places available for some UCL students who are interested, UCL undergraduate students who are still thinking of attending this MSc program. So the session will go as follows. So I will be speaking around 10, 11 minutes. I'll be describing about the course and also saying how it would look like for the next academic year. And then we will have around 25 to 30 minutes for a question and answer session. I've also prepared some frequently asked questions for you, because I know that some of you have a lot of questions about how the program will run. So I will be sharing this with you. So just a quick background. I don't want to talk about my background. I've spoken to all of you, so you know me already. The background of the course is that it's based on the Bartlett School of Construction and Project Management. And the Bartlett has a long tradition of being a multidisciplinary environment. So yes, we're looking at the built environment, but not only on that. And we're trying to get lessons from other sectors into the built environment, but also create some guidance and influence other sectors around us. So as a deputy course leader for the program of the Project and Enterprise Management, which is a very popular course we have at the Bartlett, and I was working on that for 2 years, we realized that there was a lot of demand from the student body, but also from the industry, into creating something more specialized around the digital economy. So we had a lot of MSc students who wanted to do their dissertations on different technologies around digital, and we thought that was perhaps a good opportunity to create a specialized program. And this is why this program is small. It's a small program. It's very specialized and aims to create very specialized professionals. And when we're discussing about digital, we don't mean only for those of you who come from construction, building information modeling. So there are many digital technologies which are changing the ways that the society, the organizations, and the projects are organized. So these technologies could be Internet of Things, blockchain technology, and a lot of big data analytics methods. So I know that all of you have interest to some or to more than one of these technologies. And throughout the course, we will be helping you essentially to leverage and re-up the opportunities from these technologies and become leaders in your fields. At the same time, we recognize that there is a lot of uncertainty and vagueness, and there are so many concepts around digital economy in general. So I'd like to set the scene a bit and have you start thinking about what you will be learning in the next year. So we know that digitization is a concept which is more technical, more operational, and it relates on how we are moving from the analog information to binary. For example, think about a scanner that it scans an information in a physical artifact into a digital form. But we are also talking about digitalization, which has to do with technology in use, and especially how people and organizations interact with technologies. And the higher level of that is digital transformation, which is looking at how whole economies can be restructured because of all these digital technologies that are affecting the industries around us and the economic institutions. Pathways after this MSc program. I know all of you want to understand what opportunities this program has to offer to you and where you will be going after graduation. So as we have discussed, this is a brand new course, but it has a strong accreditation from the Association for Project Management, the APM. And looking at our experience from the past students that I've worked with at UCL, they've gone to do marvelous things to industry, not only construction, but also outside construction, like Amazon, KPMG. They have been working as digital officers, and this is what I think this cohort will be doing after graduation in a few years. So you will be working as digital engineers or digital engineering managers, but also we will provide you with all the skills to be able to start up your own business. Or if you want to continue in academia, this is an excellent program to get all the research skills and foundation for doing an academic career, for which an MSc and a PhD are prerequisites. The philosophy of the program is based on the proposition that digital technology is not just a technology, but it is a socio-technical construct, and it relates on how people, how agents, people, organizations work with this technology. So we can only progress to the extent that we understand that technology has its limitations, and our focus would be the management side, the soft side, and how it can use digital economy to make decisions and improve the outcomes for businesses and projects. So this is why the program is organized in three specific areas. So from the management side, we have organizational management and project management, but also from the engineering side, we have a few modules which are looking at how we can use the latest state of the art in technology in order to either build digital assets and engineer digital threads, or making analytics using big data. The philosophy with regards to teaching is that we want to have a balance between input and output. So input is what we provide to you, and we will be doing that through many different forms that I will be discussing in the next slides. And the output is the assessment. So the assessment is also what you need to provide in order to be successful in your program, in your course, and get the degree at the end. So we will be supporting you throughout the way with different formative and summative assessment. And at the same time, the teaching won't be just didactive, so teacher-led teaching, pretty much what I'm doing now, when I'm providing you with information, but it will be interactive. So you will have a lot of opportunities for applying the ideas that we were providing you, for asking questions, for working in workshops, creating work groups, study groups with your fellows and your peers, and opportunities to essentially interact with all the knowledge that we provide you. So this is why we're using the Harvard case teaching method in some of our modules, which is a pioneer technique from the Harvard Business School, and it focuses on flipped classroom. So you're doing some pre-work and you come to the class and discuss with facilitators. The instructors are facilitators. And this is something that it puts you to a real, almost real simulated scenario of how your workplace would be in after graduation work, so when you go back to the industry. So the program aims to provide you with a theoretical and applied understanding of engineering management, especially around digital economy, but also it wants to help you to develop as individuals, to develop critical thinking, to become researchers, so to be your own researchers and do your own research every time you are working towards a problem, solve a problem in the industry. But also we will be equipping you with a lot of transferable skills, not only technical, but also soft skills, such as negotiation, presentation skills, communication, collaboration. All of these things, you will be developing them and testing them throughout the course. The course structure has three main terms. So we have term 1, term 2, and term 3. The first 2 terms are dealing with taught modules. And the third term is a dissertation, which is more independent work. And throughout the course, we will be going from the high level knowledge to the applied, to the application of the modules of the theory. So in the first term, we have modules more about organizational management and project management. And in the second term, we have modules which are more on project management and engineering management. So from the theory to the application. Hi, everyone. Sorry for the interruption. I know that there was a power outage here in my neighborhood, so probably that's why you lost me. So I'll keep going through from the slide where I was. So I know that some of you in our discussions, have asked me about how you can do well in this course. And how you can really succeed in this program. And for me, the advice I give to all my students is to essentially develop your own habit of learning. This is something that you will definitely need when you go to the workplace, when you get a job, or if you continue in academic route. So develop your own habit of learning, but also learning from multiple sources. You can learn from your class, you can learn from your fellow classmates, from your past experience, from your work, but also you can learn from books. Another suggestion is to really try to focus on the communication channels that we have here for you at UCL. So be able to communicate with us, for example, through your UCL email and through the virtual learning environment, and also know the course handbook. Now, I know some of you, especially the offer holders who have accepted the offer to study with us the next year, you have asked for a preparation course, and I've submitted some material for you, which is completely optional. So you don't have to read that. You can still have a nice summer. You can just enjoy your freedom before you start this new program. But if you feel that you want to start learning something before, if you want to understand more about the things that we are doing, if you want to start to understand more about the program and how diverse and what sort of variety we will be providing to you, just get in touch with me, and I'll send the course list, and for those who already have it, you can consider going through this material. So for the next academic year, the main core of the announcement that I wanted to communicate through this taster session is how this will run. So UCL is continuously monitoring the situation with regards to the COVID-19 situation, and they have suggested that all the terms will be taught online in 2020 and 2021. However, this means that it's up to you to choose whether you want to join us in London or whether you want to study from where you might be located. I know that we have applications from around the world, so it's up to you where you feel safe and comfortable, and when you feel, for example, in 2021 that the situation is better, you can join us in London then. So, and also UCL, and we are trying our best in order none of the students to be in a position where they won't be able to learn through this online learning. So no student will be disadvantaged. All of you will have equal opportunities in this situation. And for this, the importance of Moodle, which is the UCL virtual learning environment, is very high. So through Moodle, we'll be teaching you in synchronous and asynchronous methods. So synchronous is pretty much what we're doing now through web sessions, online meetings. And asynchronous is the self-study component, which will be also very diverse. So it won't be just a drop of different videos. And assessment could be summative, so either counting towards your final mark, or it will be also formative, which means that we will be helping you to work towards your final assignment, but you will be receiving feedback that doesn't count towards final mark. Then the other suggestion that we have from UCL is with regards to providing you with a very diverse learning experience. So in this particular program, because it is about digital, so we want to use digital technologies to the best way we can in order to educate you. So this is why I said we won't be just doing data drops of videos and Zoom meetings to you. You will have a lot of opportunities to explain and to understand concepts through interactive components, interactive presentations, pre-recorded lectures. You can have access to the slide decks, access to web resources, and having also a lot of synchronous and asynchronous polling tools that we can use, and also formative quizzes at the end of the class. At the same time, all the reading material that you will need will be provided to you online through the UCL library, so you won't have to seek essential readings elsewhere. You won't have to buy books. As long as you have a VPN, UCL VPN connection, that would be enough for you to access all the material that you need in order to do well in this course. And also, as UCL students, you will have access to unlimited resources in LinkedIn Learning. So I think this is the time for questions and answers. What I can do is I can end this slide, so for now at least. And I want to hear your questions. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so we have one question, which is sent privately about the outline of the course. So I'll go back to this slide. And in the meantime, you can use the chat to write questions, or you can raise your hands as well. Okay, we had one question about the terms. So in this course, we have three main terms. The first one is about high-level knowledge and understanding organizational management and project management. The second term has to do more with engineering, applying project management principles, and also understanding how we can use different technologies, such as building information modeling, blockchain, but also doing using big data for business analytics. And then on the third term, it's a more independent part of the course, where the dissertation will be, you will be working on your dissertation together with a supervisor that you will be allocated by the school. Of course, this is different for full-time and part-time students. So this structure is for full-time students, and when it's part-time, when you are part-time student, you will be attending half of this. And when you are flexible, you will be discussing this structure with me. So we will try to adjust this structure to the best, to your schedule and to your specific needs. So I'm quickly going back to the to the chat. Okay, so I have a question here about status for approval by IC You can, yes. So we have begun a process for accreditation, professional accreditation of the program from the IET, the Institution of Engineering and Technology. So this would be giving charter engineering status to those of you who have fulfilled a bachelor in engineering. So this means that the program will be able to have a partial certification for those of you who have done a bachelor in engineering. This process has begun, but it can be completed after half the course has run. So we will have more updates on that on April, and hopefully they will be able to approve that. So those that will be finishing their program in the end of the next academic year and have a bachelor in engineering will be able to get a chartered engineering status. Then we have a question, is it in the news that there would be a new campus for UCL, whether next year BATS will be shifted to a new campus? So the program is originally, yes, developed for the new campus. The new campus hasn't been developed yet. So this will be given to UCL around 2023. So we will have the course in the Here East, which is a smaller campus at the east of London. It's like 20 minutes from the Bloomsbury campus. But this year, because of the COVID situation, we will only have some sessions in the second term there. But the whole program will be able to be delivered online. Of course, face-to-face meetings, for example, with supervisors or smaller groups, all this can easily take place. But for the whole cohort, because of social distancing rules, we have to provide the course online. So for those of you who will be in London, that would be an opportunity to have face-to-face meetings. And from 2021, that would be at the Here East campus. Okay, then I have another question. Would 2021, 2022 also be a virtual learning? I don't have information about this at the moment. As I said, UCL is continuously monitoring the situation. So I don't know how this will go for the next year. For example, if they get a vaccine or something, I think UCL might rethink of the situation with online learning. So unfortunately, I can't answer for the next academic year. Update about post-study work visa? Yes, indeed. So for those of you who are dependent on visa, so this is essentially why we're organizing the face-to-face sessions, especially for the next term, because face-to-face teaching is essential for getting the work visa. So even if you study online, you can get the study work visa as long as you attend the sessions that will be organizing at UCL face-to-face. And this might be 2 sessions for the whole cohort, and then smaller sessions like one-to-one tutoring or smaller seminars with 5 of you, for example, in work groups throughout the second term. Then I have another question. What are the days for lectures for part-time students? I understand it is 1 day a week. Yes, indeed. So in the first term, the part-time students will be attending 2 non-consecutive weeks. And in the second term, the part-time students will be attending either Tuesday or Friday. So it's these 2 days. So the first year would be Tuesday, and the second year it will be Friday. Then I have another question. Any opportunity for membership or getting associated with Construction Blockchain Consortium? Yes, there are opportunities to be associated with Construction Blockchain Consortium. Actually, one of our module leaders is the director of Construction Blockchain Consortium, and I think he would be delighted to provide more information about that. So there are good linkages and good connection with the Construction Blockchain Consortium. Then we have a question from Alex, which is a very important question. Will the seminar and tutorials be held online as well? So seminars and tutorials, they're more interactive. And because they're more interactive, we want them to be as much as interactive as possible. So this is why we will be using synchronous synchronous online teaching. As I said, the suggestion from UCL is that all the teaching will be held online. So the seminars and tutorials will be online, and what we are doing in our course design is to have these asynchronous meetings. So we will be using either Zoom or Blackboard Collaborate in order to facilitate this learning. Are we able to attend UCL and use the facilities? Yes, indeed, you are. So UCL will have opened some facilities such as the UCL Library, the Student Center. So yes, indeed, you will be able to use facilities as students of UCL. But for those of you who don't want to, as I said, all the material will be provided to you online. Is our dissertation title self-proposed, or do we have to choose from given topics by the department? Ideally, we would like you to think about your own topics and send them to us. What we can organize is some sessions with industry leaders who will be able to give some feedback on your ideas and perhaps be the first point of contact into getting some links for fieldwork, for empirical fieldwork. The online session only term 1 or all 3 terms? All terms will be delivered online. Okay. When should I arrive at school? As I described before, so for those of you who have accepted the offer, just make the process as soon as possible. Follow the advice from your offer letter in order to be registered at the school and set up your visas. And then depending on when you feel comfortable, you can plan your arrival at London. As I said, you don't have to do it straight away. So you can do it when you feel comfortable, but you are welcome to come in London from the beginning of October when we start the classes. Is it still the same fees for 2020-21 with the online learning? Yes, it's not. Yes, because this is not an online degree, so it's still the same fee. It's not an online degree because we will have face-to-face activities as well. Internships directly to companies. Yes, I think this is what I discussed before. So we will have some people, we will invite some people from the industry when you present your ideas for dissertations, and you will be able to discuss some ideas with them and perhaps find internships or field dissertations through them. But there is no internship scheme throughout the program per se. UCL email and virtual learning. Yes, as soon as you get registered, you will follow the advice from UCL in order to get your email and access to the virtual learning environment. Full-time students, I wouldn't recommend that you work during that time. I know some students might want to do it. Some of you might want to do it. Typically, I don't recommend it in any of the programs that I have worked in, because it's a very intensive program. So for full-time, it's a very intensive program. So you start in the beginning of October and you finish in the end of August next year. So it's 11 full months of work. So I wouldn't recommend part-time work, but of course, every student has their own situation. So I can't forbid it, but I wouldn't recommend it. When will I receive unconditional offer letters? Yes, so I would imagine that the UCL admissions is quite busy at the moment because it's a very intensive period with all the admissions and the applications taking place. So I would suggest to all of you who have questions regarding your offer letters to get in touch with the admissions. And yes, to answer to Jean, yes, you have the offer, but perhaps it hasn't been processed yet. So I'll share with you one extra slide with frequently asked questions, and these are this will be very useful for you. I think that this slide might answer some of the questions that some of you have. So for example, I am a conditional offer holder. Where should I submit my degree or English results and so on? So check for these things which are kind of legal. This is not really my area. Check your offer letter, whatever you have received from UCL, and communicate your results to the UCL admission. So the email is postgraduate-admissions@UCLAC UK. Then another question that students usually ask is about visa. So any questions you have about visa, again, as academics, we're not allowed to give visa advice. So always, any visa question should go to visa compliance at UCLAC UK. Should I prepare for the course in advance over summer? Yes, those of you who have accepted offers, I've sent you a preparation list. This is completely optional, you don't have to do it. You can enjoy your summer, but if you want to learn more about the things that you will be doing through the course, yes, of course, that would be a great idea. Will the UCL library be open next year? I think we had a question like that. Yes, UCL library as other UCL facilities will be open. But you will also have free access to necessary materials. So if you want to understand more about how UCL will look like for the next academic year, I would suggest that you check the advice at the website ucl.ac.uk/coronavirus. This is where UCL announces how it will be operating in the next year, and there are a lot of other frequently asked questions there for you to read and understand how it would look like. Some of you asked me about whether your laptop or computer would be able to support these computational sessions that we have. Yes, this is possible. So UCL has also a remote desktop service. So you can use UCL computers by being anywhere as long as you use an internet browser. So this is also possible. So we will be providing you all the reading materials and software that you need to do well in this course. So also in this frequently asked question slide, I've added information at the end about the UCL student community. So if you go to ucl.ac.uk/students, you can see a lot of information about different communities, what you can learn from other students who are already at UCL, and understand how you can use the existing structures and channels of UCL to get help for your course. Now, I know we have 5 minutes still, so there are 2 questions. Is using BIM an essential skill for studying this course? So yes, so you could start learning BIM. You could look at some online tutorials if you're interested in that, but it's not, the course is not a technical course that would require you to know how to use all the BIM tools. It is a good thing to have some knowledge already, but we will be providing you with material about learning more about this before. So if you're interested to find more about it, just send me an email and I'll be able to point you out to the right direction. Okay, about graduation job events. Yes, we have career events at the end, towards the end of the course. Depending on the COVID-19 situation, that might be online if it's not allowed, or face-to-face if it's allowed. About people who don't have big data background, you think it would be better to learn this in advance? Yes, indeed. So if you want, as I said about the question about building information modeling, we've sent some preparation list to those of you who have accepted the offer. So if you haven't received this preparation list, just email me and I'll be happy to send it to you as well, where you can see some material that the staff, all the module leaders we have prepared jointly together to give you some idea of how the course would look like and what sort of material you will need to go through the course. As I said, this is not, this is completely optional, but if, for example, you want to learn more about big data analytics, or you want to refresh your statistics skills, or learn something about construction management, for example, you can definitely go through the material. It's not a very big list, so you can do it over a couple of weeks, you know, a bit one day, a bit the other day. So it's not like a full-time program. But let me know if you haven't received this list. Okay, another question here. When are discussions usually held for flexible students and their arrangement of modules? So yeah, we can do this with flexible students. I can have a chat with flexible students when they start the course. We can have discussion about through an online meeting, could be Zoom, it could be Microsoft Teams. It doesn't really matter, but now because of the COVID situation, we are advised to be working remote until the end of the year. So these discussions could be done online for safety reasons. The computer facilities, yes, there are computer facilities both at the main campus and at the Here East. As I mentioned, the teaching will be online for 2021, which means that we will be using computers through the remote desktop service of UCL. What date does the course start for part-time students? So all students of the course will be notified from UCL to join the induction week. So at the end of September, we have the induction week, which is a week where you get your badges from UCL and the basic information about UCL and the Bartlett and how it works. So it's a very introductory week, and you will get a lot of information about the course then. And this is essentially when the program starts for all the students, part-time or full-time students. Now, I'm just mindful of the time. We have 2 more minutes, and I'd like to answer these 2 next questions. So which courses will be based on the built environment? What preparations in terms of background, students without construction background? Yes, as I said, you can have a look at the reading list, preparation course list that I sent. All the courses will have some information about built environment, but also outside built environment. So there are the things that we are discussing is that we are looking at the built environment as an application space to understand project management, organizational management, and some of the digital technologies. But the course is not only about the built environment, but the built environment is a very good exemplar industry because it's very project-based, and it can help us understand projects by looking at physical objects to physical assets about project delivery. So it's a good exemplar industry. So it will be used as an application area. Okay, I don't think we have any other questions. So I think because we are at the end of the meeting, I don't want to keep you more than that. Thank you very much for your questions and your engagement. It was really nice to see that there was participation from many of you, and I look forward to discussing with you in the coming months and meeting each one of you in person. So we will be in touch with more information as it becomes available. Thank you very much. Thanks.